Yeah, so we are live. Hi, everyone. Thank you very much for joining today's the 33rd community call. We're hosting community calls every month at the end of the month. That's a real pleasure to have you guys here with us, as always. So today we have a pretty interesting agenda. We'll be covering quite a bunch of things that related to our future, to the future of our developments and things that we are currently working on that hopefully will bring even more, exposure and interest from the side of the Polkadot community towards equilibrium and what we're doing within the ecosystem. So traditionally, let me just briefly introduce myself. I'm Alex, the CEO, the founder with Equilibrium. Today I'm joined, as usual, by my colleague. On the last community call, I was absent, was on vacation, but today we're together. We'll be presenting to you guys. Peter, do you want to introduce yourself briefly?
Yes, thank you very much, Alex. Hello, everyone. Nice to have you here. I'm really happy to see such a good participation rate, even though it's a low summer season. Happy to feel that we are still here, loved by our users and supported. And as usual, I'm Peter. I'm a technical manager with the Equilibrium team.
Nice. As usual, we have some slides for you guys. Let me briefly walk you through the agenda of today's community call. So first of all, the first one is that we are, the first topic is that we are launching integration with the Polkadot Asset Hub, and apparently we're one of the first parachains integrated with the hub, and this integration will be very impactful, I guess, for the ecosystem. For our projects, and obviously the Asset Hub itself will be quite impactful for the Polkadot ecosystem and solve multiple problems. So for us, it sounds really promising, and we'll cover that in greater detail. So multi-chain situation is resolved. We'll talk a little bit about the particular methods we've taken to solve this tricky thing. Then we have some plans. We are expecting more kind of more dots on the markets once the first parachain slots on Polkadot will be expiring in October, and we're getting prepared for that with our brand new products. We'll tell you about that in great detail today as well. And also, we are super excited that our EQD stablecoin is getting more traction. We are going live on very well known DEX on Moonbeam called Beamswap. It's happening quite soon, so we'll talk a little bit about that, and we'll have a special guest from Beamswap today on the call. Genshiro new product release. This is also important topic, as we promised. This release happens in August, like literally today, the last day of this summer. We're super excited about that, and as usual, development updates. So let's jump onto the Polkadot Asset Hub right away. Peter, do you want to cover that?
Yeah, definitely. So, as you Polkadot lovers probably know, State Mint and State Mine, they have recently changed their positioning slightly. So now the ecosystem wants those public good parachains to be like a universal entry point to the ecosystem, which hopefully would greatly help the entire interconnectivity thing, and allow exchanges, wallets, and users to initially, when they want to come into the ecosystem, interact with the Asset Hub, and that means be able to buy gas tokens there. Yeah, the term comes from Ethereum, but still, hopefully you understand what that means. Yeah, and by all of the parachain tokens, State Mint is actively engaged in building its DEX. You can already teleport your dots and some of the assets there. And this sprint, we have been busy, well, past sprint, past 2 weeks, we've been busy to actually making sure that EQ and EQD are accepted in this asset hub. And that meant a lot of rework on our backend side and our blockchain side, because the asset hub itself is kind of work in progress at the moment, and still lots of stuff being developed, and still will the final integration will require from us a couple of runtime upgrades. But right now you can already, with the latest proposal we had on our governance forum and the latest listing of EQ and EQD in the asset hub, you can already transfer those to the state mint parachain inside Polkadot. And yeah, hopefully we will see this initiative grow to something big and useful. If you want to know the details, there's a QR code on this slide, so please follow along and join the discussion. Also reach us on our social media. We'll happily answer all of the stuff related to this initiative. That's it. Yeah. So jumping to the multi-chain situation, and I've been covering it last time. So pretty much, as you know, yeah, multi-chain got bust. All of the assets which were bridged from Ethereum to Equilibrium with this bridge are now worthless, because all of the initial tokens were stolen. I can say that word, yeah, already without any hesitation. So we had to do some damage control with our community, and I think we managed it greatly. We had several proposals on our governance forum in relation to handling of the entire situation. So first of all, one of the proposals was related to the disabling of the EQD USDC stable swap pool, because at that time, and I think still currently, this pool holds like more than 90% of all of the MX USDCs which have been minted through the multi-chain bridge inside Equilibrium. So the pools has been disabled, and then the second proposal we came up with, and our users voted in favor, was related to actually setting up the price of the USDC wrapper token, MX USDC wrapper token, to 0 effectively, because right now it's not supported by any of the assets in Ethereum, and effectively the wrapper is worthless. Another third proposal was in relation to recovery of our native tokens and EQD tokens, which were bridged by users to Moonbeam or Ethereum, and we have successfully done that. And right now we are gathering information on the initial set of users who have been transferring those EQ tokens to Moonbeam and Multichain, so we can return their tokens back to them, because right now all of the tokens, they came back to our treasury, and this was done in collaboration with the Moonbeam. So the proposal was actually on a Moonbeam network side due to the specific architecture of the entire solution. So additional measures right now, since we don't have a running bridge, the Gate.io exchange will act as the Ethereum to Equilibrium bridge, and right now Gate.io already supports for native EQ tokens, so you don't need to bother by withdrawing your tokens to Ethereum and then transferring them to Gate.io. You can do it directly from Equilibrium already, and we encourage users who hold EQ ERC20s in Ethereum for some reason, bridge them back to Equilibrium through the Gate.io exchange. Yeah, in relation to the setting of the price to 0, it also affected the price of the LP token of the stable swap pool, and we have performed a substantial analytics. So we pretty much took all of the accounts of our borrowers and insurers and checked what would happen to them if we suddenly change the price of some of the tokens. And among like 500 or so combined accounts, there were only 2 liquidations and 1 maintenance margin call. and combined it was less than $10,000 in value, which is really, really great, and which proves again that the system design we have come up with the insurance policy and the several layers of protection works as a charm, and we're still ahead of a curve after even all these years. What, 33rd community call, almost 3 years, yeah, ahead of a curve in DeFi development, and we're really proud of that. So yeah, the next steps, we actually encourage our users to get rid of those LPT tokens and wind down this stable swap pool position, get rid of your USDCs, which are now worthless, and get back your EQD and pretty much use it elsewhere. You can you'll get some details of where EQD has been integrated a little bit later on, but you can use it inside our platform across other places in the ecosystem. And if you remember our last community call, yeah, we were also covering this topic in detail. Right now, since we've pretty much built everything that we wanted to build, we're more focused on the business side of things, and we try to push EQD in different places in our ecosystem, working with Moonbeam Master, Hydra DX, protocols on those EVM-based chains, and opening up pools there, always thinking about how can we integrate EQD minting into wallets such as Subwallet and Talisman. So lots of biz dev work is going on around these things, and I'm a bit frustrated because it doesn't happen as fast as we would like it to happen. But it's the usual thing, business and talking, and you gotta do that stuff and be patient, and eventually it will make a deal. Yeah. So that's it for the multi-chain situation. Hopefully none of you guys got really affected by that. I checked my position. I am an active insurer in the system as well. I got some assets from liquidated users, and yeah, it only affected my EQD balance, I believe, so like 50 or 60 tokens. But still, I have a very diversified portfolio. I earn on my insurance as a insurer, and I'm pretty safe. I'm like 95% capitalized there. So yeah, I just watch it periodically and enjoy the rewards I get there. So that's it for this slide, Alex. Now I'm passing the word back to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Peter. Cool. So I will be talking about our LSD portal initiative. Firstly, I wanted to start probably with the reasons why we have decided to move forwards with this particular one. So as you guys know, in October, there will be the expiration of the first batch of pair chains. And the unlock of dots, which will happen in October, will be quite significant. Will be almost 100 million dots unlocked. So as you can imagine, this extra supply will be potentially introduced to the markets, and that might play a certain role and basically reflected in certain price movements potentially. And we think that this is like the really interesting moment for the ecosystem, really kind of the point where the ecosystem will needs to prove its consistency and its sustainability, I would say, because they will be like very interesting whether these dots will find their usage within DeFi protocols, within the projects being built on Polkadot, or these dots will just enter the markets, will be just dumped on the order books on exchanges. So we think that this is like really interesting opportunities opportunity for projects which currently run their DeFi applications, specifically related to liquid staking. We have seen quite interesting trends on Ethereum, like that currently the biggest protocol in terms of TVL across all the DeFi space is LIDA, which runs liquid staking facilities on multiple networks, but of course the most of assets being staked on Ethereum, and ST-ETH is one of the most used assets that can be locked as collateral and used for multiple other purposes within the Ethereum ecosystem. So we think that this is actually what Polkadot brings to the table, because Polkadot's like staking dots, it's quite a popular use case given the significant APR that you can get through dot staking. However, until now, there is not that much dot staked through liquid staking mechanics. To be precise, like if we compare Ethereum and Polkadot, like literally almost all Ethereum staked on Ethereum on the network was staked through liquid dots models, liquid dot scheme. While on Polkadot, like almost 99%, like 95%, if we don't account like parachain auctions, are staked through the regular staking. So obviously, like there is a few projects which are introducing liquid dot staking. So from those which we are aware of, there are Ekala, Parallel, Bifrost, and we at Equilibrium also have our own liquid dot staking product. There are a few differentiators between these liquid dot wrappers. They are priced differently, they're staked differently, they have different underlying mechanics. Like for example, Equilibrium allows for instant unlock, while other contenders they actually offer just staking, and then you can swap its liquid staking derivatives through their AMMs. But anyways, like there is a bunch of potential holders of dots, right? So if these projects manage to attract these liquidity in dots unlocked from parachain auctions of the first batch, then that might potentially be interesting opportunity for Equilibrium as emitter of the EQD stablecoin, right? Because on one hand we have a bunch of potential liquid dot wrappers, and on the other hand there is not that much you can do within the ecosystem with these wrappers. We think that the stablecoin, like the opportunity to mint stablecoins against your chunk of your stake of dots that you have in your wallet, is pretty interesting because you get like instant access to dollar liquidity through this process. And if you look at the Ethereum example as a benchmark, you will see there that Lido's EUSD, which is the stablecoin minted against liquid staking derivatives, is taking off literally. So right now it has $8 million worth circulating supply, and this supply is rapidly growing. So we think that we have almost similar opportunity here with our EQD stablecoin, and we'll be separating this use case within a separate, like distinguished products, which will be launched on the separate, even under the separate domain name. So the plan, as you can see here, we're introducing the roadmap for these developments. So right now we are finalizing prototyping user interfaces for this LSD portal. And currently we're in active discussions with a few partners about further collaboration around this initiative. In September, we'll be working on the actual code base and we'll discuss more on integration side. We're planning to open up more, respectively, liquidity pools for the EQD stablecoin and potentially introduce more use cases for the stablecoin itself, so it can be easily either swapped or redeemed or even off-ramped to like cash. So hopefully by October, we'll have a bunch of use cases that we can introduce to our users. The mainnet release of all these developments is planned preliminary for October. So respectively, users can redeem X dots or like liquid dot wrapper for their dots and basically use these liquid staking derivatives as collateral to mint EQD stablecoin. So everything will be super convenient in one place. You can use multiple dot wrappers from different parachain projects and mint single stablecoin, EQD stablecoin, which we considering as a good candidate for becoming the central decentralized stablecoin of the Polkadot ecosystem. So starting November, we're planning for the next wave of the farming campaign, and you can consider this as official announcement. So the second wave of liquidity blast will come over in November, and you will be able to get EQ rewards, quite significant ones, through minting EQD stablecoin as one of the use cases on our platform. Yeah, so there will be potentially more treasury incentives and third-party integrations, and this everything will come also in November. So exciting times ahead of us. We are looking forward very much into these developments, and hopefully all together we'll handle all these parachain and dot unlocking situation once the first batch of parachains will expire. So let me move on to the next topic, and the next topic today is our EQD USDT pool on Beamswap, which is going live on Moonbeam very, very soon. So we have prepared a liquidity farming campaign basically dedicated to this pool launch, and we have allocated rewards in the EQD stablecoins and in Glint. And here I actually wanted to introduce our today's guest, who is Jay. So let me introduce him to invite to the stage. Just a second. Okay. Waiting for Jay to come over. So probably worth mentioning here that besides liquidity farming campaign, we're also planning for the campaign on airlift, and there will be more interesting things announced on our Twitter. So don't miss these campaign announcements. Hi Jay, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Can you guys hear me?
GM, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can. Nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you guys. Thank you for having me, and appreciate everyone here in attendance. So as Alex and Peter were saying, we do have some very exciting things. We are going to be bringing EQD to Beamswap, giving users on Moonbeam Network access to EQD, and we also have some nice rewards and stuff for when users are able to pursue opportunities in these liquidity pools and earn rewards in EQD and Glint.
Amazing. Yeah, go ahead.
No, but like I said, really excited about this this announcement and everything, because we've been working with you guys for quite some time now. I know when you guys were doing your testnet, we were participating in your guys' competition with our communities, so it's really great to really get our communities together and really help further shape the multi-chain vision of Polkadot by bringing EQD over to Moonbeam through Beamswap.
Absolutely, and I think everything happens timely, right? Because the season is just taking off. September is coming, so hopefully the markets will improve a little bit, and also like we'll be pushing more for different use cases in the Polkadot ecosystem for our EQD stablecoin in the coming months. Because for us, it's really important to be very much prepared for October. As I mentioned, we are launching our liquid staking derivative hub, which will introduce a bunch of use cases for liquid wrappers and respectively. It will be very much kind of maintained around this stablecoin. So the EQD stablecoin will be the center point of all this initiative. And yes, we also super excited about this integration because it's actually the first integration of the EQD stablecoin on Moonbeam. Before that, we never integrated with any project over there, so we're kind of pioneering here with this pool. Jay, why don't you tell a little bit to our audience like about the Beamswap AMM, what's innovative about that, and so what's going on with you guys?
Well, I mean, so we've been live since around the first week Moonbeam's launch. We've had a lot of growth since then. I mean, recently we just were awarded the part of the ecosystem grants that was just announced yesterday. So we're really excited to help usher in new growth for the Moonbeam network and Polkadot as a whole. But with that, we've also brought in V3 concentrated liquidity farms to BMX, our perpetual exchange, where users can have access to longing and shorting in the market, and also benefit from super low slippage swaps through BMX and stuff. And we've also, since being live for a little over 2 months, we've hit over $10 million in trading volume. So there's been a lot of exciting things there. But not only that, what we're trying to do is create that one-stop shop. So people are also able to do cross-chain swaps. So if you want to trade on Ethereum, you can trade from Ethereum to Moonbeam. You can easily do it with Squid's cross-chain swaps. We also have Brain DEX integrated, so users can, which is a great DEX aggregator, so ensuring that people are getting some of the best prices when they're creating these swaps. So we're really trying to create a very seamless and very user-friendly experience, because at the end of the day, it's all about elevating the user experience for DeFi, especially if you want to get that mass adoption factor.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I mean, $10 million, that's pretty impressive, by the way, given this kind of the current situation, the Polkadot ecosystem. I think this is like a really great number. I'm curious, did you guys do any kind of research? How many of the users who are trading on your exchange also use the Polkadot ecosystem itself, or is just solely users from Ethereum who are just familiar with MetaMask and Ethereum EVM compatible chains?
I think what I'm talking about, like for cross-chain swaps and stuff, when we're talking about just Ethereum, it's one of the examples of just one of the ways that we're able to easily have users, if they have assets on Ethereum, or if they have assets on Binance or any supported chain that Squid provides, they can easily opt into Moonbeam network and easily start getting into that Polkadot realm of things. And it's really, really great, because all you do is you just select the network, select the asset that you want to swap, and then within a couple of seconds, it's like you're now plugged into the Moonbeam network, or you're now plugged into Polkadot. So it's really, really exciting. So, but one of the things that I really wanted to talk about too is, like, alongside of this campaign and stuff that we're doing with bringing EQD and stuff, is really looking forward to having some more AMAs with you guys, learning more about what you guys are doing with liquid stake derivatives and everything, and getting our communities together. I know we have some fun campaigns planned for the future, and ways that we're going to really help, one, educate collaborate, and innovate. And I think that's one of the best things about what we're doing here in this space, because you can't talk about multi-chain or you can't talk about interoperability if you're not willing to interoperate communities, and that's what's beautiful about the Polkadot ecosystem.
Right. No, definitely. I mean, the one thing about like the transfers between Polkadot itself, like native Polkadot based assets and like the Moonbeam ecosystem, I actually just wanted to put my 2 cents here. So yesterday, just to give a little bit of context to our audience. So yesterday we were bootstrapping, sort of setting up the pools on Beamswap, with respect to transferring the initial portion of assets from Polkadot and from the Equilibrium parachain, so respectively USDT from Polkadot and EQT from our parachain. And I was doing that myself, like literally hands-on. To me, it was frankly quite painful. And when I imagined that all this way potentially could be made by a person who is not familiar with Polkadot, with different assets, with different aspects of transfers that I need, like dots teleported from the relay chain to the state mints to make this transfer happen between the state, the transferring USDT from the state mints to Moonbeam. For like regular users, it could be absolutely impossible. So like I'm sure that 99% of users will just literally give up in the middle of the process. So thankfully, I'm kind of aware of all these mechanics. I know how things work, and I know I have like some special secret knowledge of all this, asset transfers. But again, like a regular user who is not familiar with the Polkadot ecosystem, for them it will be absolutely impossible to do that. However, I'm sure that with the further improvements within the Polkadot ecosystem, I know the guys are working on amazing initiative of the native Polkadot exchange, which is designed to solve the problem of different assets to pay, gas fees on different parachains and stuff. I'm sure this user experience will be improved significantly. But what I should admit that everything, once you just cross the line between Polkadot and Moonbeam and you're finding yourself ending up on Moonbeam, everything works perfectly, like super fast, super cheap transactions, very convenient. So this is like really a shout out to like Moonbeam guys who made it really simple. And the interfaces on Beamswap are also like another kind of level of perfection, I would say. So it's like really, really friendly, really easy to use. So yeah, shout out to you guys and your UI designer.
Thank you. We really appreciate it, and we're like I said, we're really looking forward to to bringing our communities together, because this is really, really big and really, really exciting. So, and it's all about getting communities together and really growing the greater Polkadot space.
Absolutely, yeah. We're looking forward to that very much, and actually, we down for different special initiatives around our partnership, and we definitely will be happy if somebody of our community would be interested in trading on Beamswap and joining your community as well. Probably it will work vice versa, and we'll source somebody from your ecosystem, from your community to Equilibrium, and they will familiarize themselves with our EQD stablecoin, which will be potentially helpful for them to work better with the assets on Polkadot. And like we accept a bunch of collateral types right now to mint EQD stablecoin, and yeah, hopefully these use cases will be helpful to them. So maybe the last question before you go, or I don't know if you want to tell us something else, like on top of my questions, yeah, feel free to let me know. But from my side, I have just one question. So, how do you envision the outcome of this integration, and how it is important from your perspective to have like the Polkadot native decentralized stablecoin tradable on Beamswap?
Well, ultimately, I think when it comes down to it is right now, one of the biggest problems that we've had in this space is one is bridged assets, and as like one of the benefits of using native assets is that we mitigate some of those risks that we have with traditional flaws and bridges. So one, the user is going to be able to effectively be able to trade EQD or native assets like XUSDT across the different parachains, and that's one of the easy benefits that they get right away. But like you said, right now there's still a couple of hurdles and stuff with with the initial onboarding and stuff like that. But those are things that are going to be solved over time as more and more adoption and more innovation comes into play. But with that, though, we have things like even Moonbeam has the Moonbeam SDK, which really makes it easier for users to bring things over from the Relay chain over to Moonbeam network, and then bring it back to the Relay chain. So we also have that natively integrated on our on our platform as well to help make that process seamless. We'll also be coming out with some articles and stuff to really help navigate new users into the process and try to facilitate it to make it as painless as possible.
Right. So maybe it makes sense, just the idea from the top of my head. So probably it makes sense to put together some kind of LI5 manual for users, how they can mint EQD stablecoin and transfer that from our parachain to Moonbeam, and eventually to put them into the Beamswap pool. Because I believe that we don't have this piece of content in place, and I'm sure it will be very helpful to our users. And maybe just one thing which I wanted to mention in this relation, that the actual transfer between Equilibrium and Moonbeam is easier. So like it was not that painful that I explained, of course, because like we have the mechanism where you can swap some fraction of your assets on Equilibrium for EQ, that for you to have the ability to pay fees. So it's easy. The main pain point, I guess, is transferring like state mint assets from state mint to Moonbeam. Right now, it's a little bit overcomplicated, to be honest. But hopefully, again, Parity and Polkadot will solve this problem at some point, and this will become more user friendly. So again, and by the way, you obviously can obtain XUSDT quite easily within the Moonbeam ecosystem. So if you decide to trade like or provide liquidity to the pool that we're about to open on Beamswap, like respective USDT against the EQD stablecoin, you can easily have USDT already existing on Moonbeam without the need to bridge it from Polkadot. But if you decide to bridge from Polkadot, reach out to me. I will tell you how to do that. I already done once. I'm happy to share this experience and give you some tips on that, how to simplify your life. When it comes to Equilibrium, it's easy. Trust me, like you just need to open up our application at equilibrium.io, and it's like super easy by far. Yeah, look, man, I'm super excited about what's going on and what's coming. Do you want to highlight somehow our upcoming campaigns? Probably give some hints to the audience.
I don't want to give too much away, but just make sure that you guys are following both Equilibrium as well as Beamswap for some of the announcements, and also be sure to jump into our Telegrams and our Discords so that way you guys can stay in the know, because we do have something exciting coming up, and can't wait to share it with you guys. So it'll be fun, and it'll be another way for you guys to engage, as well as learn a little bit more about the EQD USDT farm, and really take a journey with Beamswap and Equilibrium.
Amazing. Jay, thank you very much for joining us today. It was a real pleasure to host you, and looking forward to having you here at this place in the future.
Oh, absolutely. Appreciate your guys' time. Thank you so much, and have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. Take care. Okay, so that was Jay from Beamswap. We covered our upcoming integration and opening up the USDT QD pool on Beamswap. Again, to remind you, we'll run a liquidity farming campaign. We're allocating certain chunk of EQD as rewards, and there will be also Glint tokens of Beamswap allocated as well. So moving to the next topic, I'm giving it out to Peter. Peter, please.
Yes, thank you very much, Alex. It was a pleasure having Jay with us. Yeah, you covered all of my questions, so I was silent here for a bit. So exciting news. You guys waited for it. I don't know for how long, 3 months. Finally, we are happy to present you with what we have been doing for Genshiro. I know we promised to release the stuff in August. Today is the last day of August, and I can assure you our entire dev team is working non-stop right now to actually make this happen. All the final preparations, all the checkings, transfers to all the services are happening as we speak right here. And we wanted to make it super simple and test the hypothesis of one simple core product for Genshiro in Kusama. As you know, Kusama hasn't been doing that great recently, but we still believe we have our unique positioning and space in the system because we're one of the most creative projects out there. You can just judge it by looking at our UI and UX. And this time we've worked really hard to present you with this simple idea. So pretty much it's prediction market. Currently, we are starting in a test mode only with one pair. It's going to be BTC USDT, and you will be able to bet your Genshiro tokens on whether the price goes up or down or stays in the range. And it's going to be all with pretty UI, automatic, this betting process. I don't know if I'm supposed to say these words. Scary. Yeah. But still, automated contest process. Yeah, let's put it this way. So you'll get your contests like every 15 minutes, literally. And we have a special service who will be putting them up, and you can bet for the price change, price level every 15 minutes and a price range every 4 hours. We want to initially gather the user activity to see how users will find this product, to then better see how we can fit it for their needs and probably add some modifications if needed. That means adding new trading pairs, different contest times, and etc., etc. Also, right now you are able to bet with only Genshiro tokens, which gives them the nice utility, which I believe we were, well, not lacking, but probably diluting all the way along. And now you have only Gens token, and you can pretty much bet with it. All of the other assets that were stuck in Genshiro since our migration to the parachain are still left with you. All of the bridges are operational, and we encourage you to move your X dots to Equilibrium, since when the auction periods are approaching to their end, starting at the end of October, you will need those X dots to actually to be able to swap them directly to your dots. And when it comes down to all of the other assets, the bridge to Binance Smart Chain, to Ethereum, and to Hiko chains, the ones we supported with Genshiro all along, it's still operational. You can withdraw your assets there if you need them. And that's it. What else can I say? Stay tuned. The new UI will be out hopefully in an hour or two. Yeah. So yeah, let's move on, Alex. Thank you for this slide. And as usual, at the end of our presentation, the development updates. So yeah, so obviously a lot of work on Genshiro backend and frontend. Try to make sure everything works as smoothly as possible. So launched all of the services, the backend service for history, updated blockchain and runtime several times. For for Equilibrium, we have finished our farming campaign, removed the blast bonus from UI and everywhere. Right now, we are launching campaigns with protocols like Beamswap, and later on, when we will add EQD to other protocols like Hydra DX and Stella Swap and others, we will definitely launch some farming campaigns there as well. Yeah, I already talked about the sorting out of the multi-chain situation on all of the proposals we had along the way. And of course, Alex has been talking a lot about this new and exciting initiative that is revolving around, the liquid stake hub, and we're working on that. We've been prototyping the UX as of now, and once we are done with that, we will be ready to proceed with actual development, and we're aiming for the October here, as Alex mentioned. Yeah, so I wouldn't say there were minor preparations for Asset Hub, because it literally took us a week to understand what's going on there and to update our runtime accordingly. But we managed to do that. We passed the proposal, and as I told you, EQ and EQD will be supported in the Asset Hub. And last but not least, as you remember last time, yeah, we talked a bit about the Ledger app. And so we have made it completely public, since we didn't win the Treasury proposal and our solution didn't get through. But still, we would love the ecosystem to have something functional. And judging by what Zontax is doing there, they're just milking the Treasury. And when their solution is going to be out, nobody knows, because right now their app doesn't work. And our app works, and I will present you right now with the instructions on how to install it. It's not listed, obviously, in the Ledger Live store, so be careful. Always check your checksums, and if you're a Ledger Nano S user, you can install this app directly to your device. And this will allow you to work with multiple parachains and relay chains, and you will be able to move your tokens around. This is what the ecosystem has been waiting for 2 years, and we are the ones who are happy to provide you with such a solution. The video isn't out yet, but it will be out either tomorrow or early next week, so stay tuned. The video pretty much explains how to install the app on your device and how to work using this app with several different parachains. Right now, we support only for the clear sign, we support only the standard balances palette and balances transfer extrinsic. And for all of the rest, we support blind signing. And again, carefully read the instructions. Always compare your transaction hashes so you don't get scammed. And please use this development of ours for your benefit and at your own discretion. So that's it on my part. And I think that's it for our presentation for today. So, let's take on some questions.
Yeah, let's do that right away. Just a sec. Let me check what's going on here. The questionnaire section. We have 9 questions so far. Okay, so 1 minute, 1 question. Hi there. When all the things discussed on the previous com call will be fixed, especially situation with Liquid Dot? Sorry, Dave, I was absent last community call. Unfortunately, I'm out of context, so I'm here, need to hand it over to Pizza.
And honestly, I don't remember what was the situation with Liquid Dot, but I checked the staked dot page yesterday, if you're talking about Equilibrium, because I stake my dots through Equilibrium, and I believe everything works. The price keeps going up. I receive my rewards. I can see them in the interface, and I use my EQ dot or liquid dots as a collateral for minting EQD. And pretty much I'm already in LSD hub user, even though the LSD hub is not out yet. Yeah.
Right. So Dave, if you can probably highlight more specific things that you're referring to somewhere in the chat, will be very helpful. When DEX trades or something like that on Equilibrium, I see that nothing changed on platform and see no movements. Sam, look, here's the thing. So we had experience of launching the DAX on Genshiro, and to be honest, it was quite smooth from the technical perspective. But in fact, there is certain congestion of attracting liquidity and real activity to the Polkadot these days. I mean, that's because of the markets, and hopefully when the market improves, things will change. But so far, we've been talking to multiple market makers, and believe me, that was the top names like Wintermute of the world, and almost every single, like Jump Trading, like all of them. And when they hear that it's Polkadot and they need to integrate with the parachain, for them it's super complicated. So they're not ready yet for this type of things and putting too much effort into that. Unfortunately, the audible-based DEX cannot work without proper liquidity depth and market making out there. So again, we tried that on Genshiro, and unfortunately, from the business perspective, it didn't work out well. So that's why we decided to push back the DEX or trade or something launch on Equilibrium. So right now we're focusing primarily on staking and lending instruments. But frankly speaking, everything what's related to that, respectively the money markets and the stable coin, we have already developed, and I'm not too sure what exactly you mean by changes or movements. What else we can add to these developments? Probably nothing, but we obviously need to work on attracting more liquidity providers and more partners who will be actually working with these assets. And so hopefully the situation with the dot unlock in October will bring more use cases, and we'll have more interesting movements and changes on the platform that will encourage the whole community to keep up with us and believe in Equilibrium. I don't know, and in the Polkadot ecosystem overall. Okay, so the next question from Roberto. Good morning, Alex and Peter. My question is: if Equilibrium will participate with AxDots in the Energy Web token auction that is coming next week? After so long, it's an auction that has captured the interest of its community. So we decided to. We actually decided to suspend our participation in parachain auctions with the AxDots because we tried that with different other batches, and unfortunately that experience was not satisfying. So we literally got some peanuts which were not worth of efforts that we put into token distribution and further support of that. So we decided to suspend that for a little while, and I'm not too sure that we want to move forwards with this initiative. Hi, and thanks for the community call. Please, I would like to know when can we exchange our LPT1 for EQDs? We have in the EQD USDC stable pool. Thanks. Great question. So right now you already can do that. The one thing that apparently right now there is an appreciation of what happens with multichain going on. So if you exchange your LPT, and I think it's LPT 0, right, Peter? anyways, like LP tokens from the EQD USDC pool can be swapped for actual UQD, but you will get kind of 2/3 of its initial value as of now. It's been almost a week that I only see that staking does generate rewards for me. On the other hand, what I have in the USDT EQD stable pool doesn't generate any EQ in my wallet. Is it due to something specific? Thank you so much. Raul, we have announced recently that the first wave of our liquidity blast campaign has come to the end, and we currently don't distribute rewards in EQ on any stakes within Equilibrium. But as I mentioned, we have planned the second wave of the blast campaign to kick off in November. So after we launch our liquid staking hub, LSD hub, that will be the case because we'll be pretty much keen on attracting more liquidity. In multi-chain situation resolved, you say LPT0 token holders, but is that a mistake, right? It's LPT1. Peter, let me check actually here in the app. I think it's LPT0.
It's one of them, definitely. But when you talk about the multi-chain situation, it's the one which relates to the multi-chain. We had that covered in our Medium article, and there should be the right name there. Yeah, because sorry guys, sometimes it's hard to keep everything in your head. So yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we're on the same page. So it's like the LP tokens for the USDC EQD pool, of course. So one more thing is removal of ST tag on Gens as well. In last conversation, you said that already talked to KuCoin team on ST tag. So when we are expecting ST tag removal on Genshiro from KuCoin, that will help Gens to grow faster because people are afraid of losing trust in seeing ST tag on any project. From what I know, we still in discussion with KuCoin. And apparently you just need to wait a little longer. So when we are expecting Genshiro product live, I guess today. So this is the plan. Okay, regarding Liquid Dot, they've circled back with us. So the last time you've discussed the UX issue that doesn't show the correct amounts of unstaked dots will be resolved. Peter, this requires your comments.
Yeah, this task is in our backlog, but unfortunately we haven't touched it yet because, as you remember when I discussed the slide about the dev tasks, you've seen that we were busy with other stuff, but definitely we remember about that and we will fix it. Yeah.
Amazing. I think that's it, and our call is coming to its end. So maybe the last thing worth mentioning, so our team will be participating in the Talking 2049 event in Singapore. So if you guys will be around, give us a heads up. We'd love to catch up and chat in person. If you have any further question and you don't attend Talking 2049, then feel free to reach out to our Discord channel or Twitter or whatever channel you may use for your questions. We're here to help as always. And yeah, more exciting things to come. We very much focused on establishing EQD within the Polkadot ecosystem. So hopefully there will be more things, more pools, more activity ahead of us. And Peter, thank you for
thank you guys. Thank you very much, Alex. It was pleasure, and yeah, exciting end of the summer. Lots of stuff coming with Asset Hub and with the LSD. don't get distracted by the name. Yeah, but still, yeah, thank you guys.
Yes, take the right LSD and timely. Thanks.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye bye. Until next time in
Yeah,
September.
bye bye, guys. Thank you.